Hello and welcome to the Every Country podcast. This is already episode number 3. I hope you enjoyed the first 2. If you haven't checked them out, they're on our channel.
Definitely. Today we have a very exciting topic for us.
We have a very exciting topic because we recently moved to Dubai.
Yeah, we just mentioned it very briefly in the last episode, in the first episode even. And today we want to talk about why and how it actually works to move here.
Because we got a lot of comments and a lot of people messaged me like, how did you move to Dubai? Why did you do it? But that's quickly said. But how did you do it as well? Because moving to a different country always involves a lot of organization and a lot of struggle, basically. So we want to talk about whether the process was efficient, how we did it, what got us the idea.
Exactly. And especially Dubai is a place that I feel like many people are thinking about maybe at some point moving to. You know, it's a growing city. Everyone's kind of talking about it, I feel like, in the digital nomad community bubble. Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think it's very exciting for people to not only to hear what it's like to move to a different country, but especially to this city.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Dubai. Whether you like it or not, everyone is talking about Dubai.
That's true.
It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So why did you move to Dubai?
In short, we created a company here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But let's go a step, like even more back. Why did we found the company here? What was the reason?
Well, first of all, it's very easy comparatively to create a company here. So what's our company about? It's a tour company.
Travel agency? It's
a travel agency, basically. Yeah. We work with a lot of guides from across different parts of the world. So we work with a lot of guides from across the world, from lots of different places, lots of different countries. So naturally, I mean, Dubai is very centrally located in the world. It's very easily accessible to basically every other country in the world. It's a bit far from South America, but apart from that, it's
true.
Pretty central.
But of course, geographic location was another reason. But especially, we created a company that doesn't really require a physical location. So we looked at which place has the best infrastructure for a company or the best circumstance for a company that really doesn't require a physical location, because we also have a free zone company. You know, we're going to get into that later, but it's like you have two different types of companies in the country here.
You have the mainland companies and you have the free zones, which are designated areas where you can set up your businesses. And for us, what was very important, we will work together with people from places like Iran, from Afghanistan, those kind of places. So setting up a company like this would be very difficult in Germany, even just with sanctions.
Exactly.
Right? So it would be nearly impossible to work with everyone from like literally every country in the world.
Exactly.
That's why we came to Dubai, because they don't put any restrictions onto that.
Right.
So we can work with anyone, basically.
Yeah. So restrictions, taxes, bureaucracy, all of those things are very easy here compared to where we come from.
So setting up a company here in Dubai is very easy. It's very unbureaucratic.
Exactly.
It can be done very, very quickly.
Yeah, in only a couple of days, actually.
If you really want to do it.
If you're actually prepared and you know what you're doing and you have all your questions answered, I think it's...
Unlike us. How long did the process take for us?
That's a good question. Only the company was, I think, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
2-3 weeks, and then the residency visa, that comes along it was like another month maybe.
Yeah, so the company was founded in the beginning of July. Officially was where we got the documents. And you moved here in the beginning of August. Mid-August, beginning something.
1st of August.
1st of August, actually. Okay, I was 1st of September. So but that was because you were in Argentina for a long time. I was in Germany doing other stuff for a long time. So
in short, if you really want to set up a company here and you're a little bit prepared, you can probably go through the process within a week if you really want to.
Yeah, 1 week is
1 or 2
maybe
weeks.
2. Let's say 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is realistic. Of course, there are also agencies. We did everything ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? So there are also agencies that know all the answers to the questions you have. So they probably can get it done for you in a couple of days.
And it's funny, if you listen to like how to set up a company in Dubai, most of the people on the podcast will actually try to sell you their services.
Maybe, yeah.
So we are not one of them, and unless you maybe it's lucrative. Maybe we should start a second business. Maybe we should become consultants.
Yeah, but it's true. There's so many consultancies here that try to get you to move here, and
No, we are just two random blokes that try to set up our business in Dubai, and we now have it.
Yeah, and do everything ourselves.
Our advice, you can reach out.
Absolutely.
But how did we set up the company?
Let's talk about mainland and free zones.
Yeah.
So there are 40 free zones in the United Arab Emirates. Free zones are designated areas of land which have, like, in our case, it's a business center. I don't know if every free zone has a business center, but it's basically just a geographic location which is not, or which is a separate entity of government, basically, you could say, than the actual mainland, like most of the country is.
Most importantly, it's differently taxed.
Yeah. It's differently taxed. Is it just taxed? I think it's more than that. Like you just have different rules for your business, basically, completely different rules. I don't know what the mainland company rules are, what the exact differences are, but when we decided what we wanted, we looked at the differences, which I don't remember anymore, and decided that free zone was our way to go.
Yeah, basically, if you come to the United Arab Emirates as an expat and you want to set up your company, free zone is most likely what you're going to look at. Yeah. So if you have like an online business or anything that happens independent of any location, it probably makes sense to set it up in a free zone.
Yeah.
And we went with the Shams Media City free zone, which is a free zone in Sharjah, which is like one emirate further up north of Dubai, basically. It's not very far from Dubai, although the business center itself is a bit into the desert and there's no bus connections. Yeah. So unless you have like a car, it's actually kind of difficult to reach.
Right.
But you're never there much anyway.
Exactly. So yeah, it's funny because we chose it because we wanted to, make use of the facilities that they have there. But in the end, we really don't use it. It's I don't even know what exactly went into the thought process, but it's fine. There's still a great free zone. From our experience, it was totally fine.
So we cannot really talk about anything else other than the Shams Media City. So
but we can say it's legit. It works. It's not too bad. We don't have any comparison. That's what I'm saying. It's not too. I don't know what other free zones are doing. So maybe there are better ones. We don't know, but we're not. We don't regret the decision to go there, I would say.
I think it was a very interesting process. Some of it was difficult, I'll admit this. It wasn't always clear what we have to do.
Yeah, it wasn't too transparent. But as soon as you ask the customer service, you know what you're doing.
No, it's true.
But in the beginning, I didn't, sometimes...
It's just a lot of steps. To move here, to move to Dubai, you have to follow a lot of steps. And often you don't really know what is up next.
Yes.
And that was for me personally. I mean, I did my residency visa before you as well. So I was here in Dubai. I was like, do I have to go to the medical test now? And then when do I submit what? And I wasn't really sure.
Yeah.
And then once you ask the customer service, they were actually great. I went to the Shams Business Center and they helped me. So it was all great. The thing about the Emirates is it's very efficient. So even if you don't really know what you're doing, like what you have to do. Once you know what you have to do, it's very efficient.
Yes.
Like, for example, a lot of people don't know this. If you move to the United Arab Emirates, you have to undergo a whole medical test. So you have to get a chest x-ray and they'll also sample your blood. They test you for HIV. So if you have tuberculosis or HIV, for example, you'll not get the residency visa.
Is that actually how it works? Like if you have any of the diseases, you will not get the residency, or is there any...
So there's a chart. So there's a chart of different diseases, and depending on which disease it is, they test you for a bunch of them. If you, for example, have HIV, you will not get the residency visa. If you, for example, there's a column basically. So there's columns basically which you can see. Some of them you'll get treatment and then get the visa. Some of them you'll get treatment and be sent back. Like for example, I think for tuberculosis, they cannot sit you down on the plane. They cannot send you on the plane home. They'll first treat you here and then they'll deport you. And other diseases, you'll not get treatment and sent back. It depends on the disease basically.
Okay.
But if you pass the medical test, which is, by the way, extremely efficient. I went into the facility and out within like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, like 15-20 minutes you're out. They send you from one room to another and then you just leave.
It's crazy. And then I did the speed processing because I had a bit of time pressure with my residency visa. So it was done within like 7 hours. I got the results.
Yeah, me too.
And then I could upload the stuff.
Yeah, that's one important thing. You cannot leave the country until you have your residency.
This is really important.
And it was funny for me because I had a lot of a big time pressure. And I actually left the country. I went to the airport without even knowing if I had if I'd gotten the residency already. I remember you getting an email on your account for some reason. We still don't know why exactly, but it's funny. So you got an email saying my something was approved. I don't even. Did it say residency was approved or something?
I think it said the residency visa is approved, but I didn't see your Emirates ID number.
Right, we didn't see.
So for me, when I got the email, when I did my residency visa, I got my Emirates ID, which is what you need. You know, if you become a resident here, you'll get your Emirates ID. You'll get the physical one and the digital one. And before you don't have the digital Emirates ID or the residency visa, which it is, you cannot leave the country. So you have to enter on the e-visa, then do all the process. If you leave the country before you have your residency visa approved, you have to do the whole process again.
Exactly.
And you didn't want to do this.
No, exactly.
So for me, when I got the email, I got my Emirates ID number already in the document, and I knew, okay, great, I had the residency. I could have left the country.
Exactly. And for me, it just said, visa is approved, but it never said issued, and also there was no Emirates ID number. So it was kind of an interesting email. I didn't know what to do with it, because on that day it was like 9 o'clock at night or so that I got the email, or that you got the email, and that was like 4 hours or so before the flight that I had to take to go back to Germany because of an appointment that I had for some work that I had to do, and that was basically the decision. If I could make it on the plane or not.
You went to the airport.
So I went to the airport without knowing if I could actually leave the country,
And you asked the immigration officer.
So they wouldn't let me through check-in, So check-in basically said, go to that office in the other terminal. So I went from Terminal 1 to Terminal 3 because there was like a little area with like an immigration office, and I just went there. I was like, "Hey, I just got an email. This is the email. I don't know if I could leave the country. Do I have the residency?" And
quick disclaimer: you can always leave the country. It's just you have to do the process again. So it's not that they actually keep you from leaving the country.
That is true.
But you'd have to redo the process.
Of course, yeah. No, that's important. That's important to say, right? But I just asked "Hey, do I have the residency? Can I leave the country?" And he was like, "Just give me your passport. He can check in the system." So the guy just put my passport on the machine, checked in the system, and he said, "Yes, brother, you have the residency. You can leave." And that was I'll never forget this sentence.
Very nice.
It was awesome. So I went back to Terminal 1 and did the check-in. Went through the e-gates, the smart gates, and no problem. I could just exit the country.
Yeah, let's talk more about how we actually set up the company, because I get this question a lot. How did you set up your company? Because the most common way, I think, is through agents. And we didn't do that. We worked directly with, the government, the facility.
Yeah, the facility, exactly. Yeah.
The free zone. So we just contacted Shams. We contacted a bunch of different free zones.
Yeah, we did.
And we actually chose the Shams Business Center because they have recording studios and all this kind of things. Yeah. Which we don't really use.
Yeah, it's funny. The reason why we chose Shams is in the end is not really important to us.
It's true.
So you can use a different one. I think we also
use SPC.
SPC is the second one we talked. There was
it's the Sharjah Publishing City, I think it's called. It's for books officially, but you can get all the business licenses. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
One thing that's important to note is the cost is not always the same. It primarily depends on which emirate you're in.
That's what we chose, Sharjah.
So Sharjah is one of the cheapest.
Yeah, and it's close to Dubai because you have to do a bunch of stuff later on at the place in the emirate that you actually set up the company on, or the free zone that you use. So we both went to Sharjah a couple of times.
So basically, setting up the company is very easy. You can get your business license within 2 days if you really want. Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to suggest the name for your company.
Yeah. Send in a couple documents, which all work through WhatsApp for us.
Yeah, it's very, very straightforward.
Yeah.
What's a bit more complex is then the residency visa.
Exactly.
So basically, with the Shams Business Center, you just set up the company. You pay first.
Yeah.
How much was it?
What was it in total you went for the residency or for the company?
For the company. So you have different packages that you can choose from. We chose a 1-year business license because we wanted to try what it's like. And then if the business, hopefully, inshallah, is going well, then we can extend it. Yeah. But it actually comes with the residency visa for 2 years.
Exactly.
So we chose the package of having 2 residency visas and the business license. So we chose the package of having 2 residency visas that are actually valid for 2 years and the business license that is valid for 1 year.
Yeah. And I think I remember that price was around 18 to 19,000 AED.
18 to 19,000. So
something like that.
But that's a bit expensive. I didn't think we paid this.
I think we did.
So it was about like 2,000 per person, maybe.
Yeah,
something
euros,
like
dollars, whatever. Yeah,
2,000
3,000
euros, something like this. So it's surprisingly cheap. It is an investment. It definitely is a substantial amount that you have to put on the table and hope for the best, basically.
Yeah.
But you do get the residency, so you can get your Emirates ID. You can move to Dubai. It comes with a lot of benefits.
Yeah, and also that already includes like the medical test, the typing thing, and that's like the overall cost that you have to bring up. Of course, excluding like Ubers. I took quite a few taxis, to be honest, to get into the middle of nowhere because of the time pressure. You can also do everything by bus and stuff, but I was here for like 3 days or so, and I got I did all the whole residency process was like 3 days for me. You're here like for like a week or so.
I was here for a week.
Yeah, you waited for the physical Emirates ID.
Yeah.
Right. So I did not. So I had to do everything as quickly as possible. So just for you to get like a time frame, 3 days, 3 nights I spent in the UAE.
Yeah, and you did everything on Express as well, so you paid a little bit more because you had the time pressure. If you want to move to the UAE and you just want it to be done as cheaply as possible, you can. You can also get it done a little bit cheaper, and it's not that difficult.
But it's true, the prices that we talked about, those were the normal prices. So I paid more than that, but that's like the cheapest you can go. Like 18,000 for the two of us. Yeah.
It's always worth to compare some of the free zones and see what offers they have. Sometimes they have like special offers, and it definitely makes sense to communicate a bit with them, ask them, and then you're sent to one of your like business setup advisors that they have, and you can discuss it with them. So the company set up very quickly, and then the residency visa is a bit of a wishy-washy for me. It was quite difficult to grasp what I had to do, but it's very efficiently. One of the things I want to talk about is the Emirates ID typing. So it's basically you have to take your fingerprints. So that's not the medical test. That's a whole other procedure.
Exactly.
Tell me about it.
There's not much. I don't know what exactly you want to hear, because for me it was pretty straightforward. You just go to Sharjah, they take your fingerprints.
But that's the thing. Where did you have to go to? We had to go to different locations.
Yes. So they just give you an appointment somewhere in the Emirate, basically. And the Emirate is not just the city. Like the Emirate of Dubai is not just the city of Dubai. It's a lot bigger. Sharjah is also not the city. Abu Dhabi especially is a very big Emirate. So I don't know if you get sent to the middle of the desert. But basically, the typing, like they always call it customer happiness center here. I think that's funny. So there are different customer happiness centers in Sharjah, and you got sent to the middle of the desert. Well, I was
sent to Al Dait. If you look at it on the map, it's closer to Oman than to Sharjah or Dubai.
yeah, it's true. That was funny. No, I was actually in the city of Sharjah, so mine was pretty close. But you're right. No, yours was terrible. So
it was
how was the
awful.
experience?
Because I had to take a bus. Yeah, I woke up really, really early. So I had to take a bus there. That bus takes like 1.5 hours or something to Al Dait. But that's not where the typing center is. So you arrive in Al Dait, and then it's like an hour walk to the typing center.
Oh, you walked?
I wanted to. First of all, I wanted to get an Uber. Uber doesn't work in Al Dait.
Nice.
I don't think it even works in Sharjah. I'd have to look it up. But didn't work in Al Dait. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a taxi, and I kid you not, I didn't see any taxi around, because I had to go right. There was like the center. I was like, oh no, it's this way. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk, and I'll flag a taxi at some point. So I got some zatar munakish on the way, and I was like, okay, I actually feel pretty good right now. I'm just gonna walk a little bit. And then eventually some guy stopped. It was not a taxi, it was a private guy who stopped by the road, and he was like, where do you need to go? And I was like, I need to go to the typing center for the Emirates ID typing. Oh yeah, I'll take you. So I went into his car and he took me there. And then they were like, nope, you cannot enter like this, because I was wearing shorts. So that's something everyone needs to, like, please, if you only take home one thing from this podcast, do not wear shorts when you go to the officials here in the UAE,
right? Because
they will not let you into the building.
Yeah.
And then I was quite pissed in the moment. I was like, I'm so sorry, but like no one told me. This cannot be how you treat your people. You're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And no one told me, okay, I cannot wear shorts. Like in Germany, it's like I can just go to the office. I can wear whatever.
Of course, no one cares.
No one cares. Here, people do care. So you cannot wear shorts, basically.
Yeah. So every official appointment you have, just wear long pants, and print everything out. I remember, that's the second thing, because when I went to the typing center, I did wear long pants, so that was thanks to you. But I didn't print out the form that I needed. So just for that, whatever you get, whatever form you have, just print it out.
Print it out
because they need
and
to
wear
stamp
appropriate clothing
Yeah.
for the UAE.
Yeah.
And then what actually happened is I got sent out of the building. I had to organize. I was like, okay, I'm running to the next clothing store. That was again like 30 minutes of a walk away. I literally ran. I was really pissed. And I went to a store and I was like, oh, shit, everything is closed. So I didn't find anything. And then my savior came. It was a taxi guy from Pakistan. I love this guy. And he was like, where do you have to go? I was like, I need to find a clothing store. I need to find a clothing store. And he was like, you have to do the Emirates typing. I was like, yeah. He was like, no worry, come, I drop you. And at first I was like, no, I first need clothes. I cannot go like this. And then he opens his side pocket and out come like long trousers. It was amazing. So he was so prepared. He was my savior. He was like, we go there now. I have pants for you. And then apparently it's his business to take people to the typing center, to the customer happiness center.
To them get rejected, and then they can.
He gives them the pants, and it was included in the taxi ride basically.
That's awesome.
It was really great. Yeah. And then I was in the typing center, and it took like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then I was out again.
Right. It was.
And then I went 1.5 hours back to Dubai.
Exactly.
Because that's also another thing that people need to learn. That's another thing that people need to understand is if you found your company, no matter where you are in the UAE, you can live wherever you want.
Right.
You're not bound to your Emirates. Like it's just because we set up the company in Sharjah doesn't mean we have to live in Sharjah.
Exactly.
We can live here in Dubai officially and no one cares. It's not anchored anywhere that you're bound to your Emirate.
True. Yeah, that was a big story. I was like, why do you want to talk about the typing? It was just 4 minutes, But you're right. For you, it was a story. I remember that. Yeah, no, that was a great day. But that's basically the last step, pretty much. You have to take, right? Then you send everything. Well, we send everything to Shams, which is the free zone. And
great customer service, actually. Yeah. I went right after the typing. I did go to the Shams Business Center because I needed something explained. I wasn't sure. Yeah. And then they actually submitted the residency visa for me on my behalf. So that was really nice. So I was literally at the customer desk. They're like, don't worry, we'll take care of it. Yeah. It's going to take like 2 business days. And then I got my residency visa and I picked it up. Then you have to go to, that's the last time that you have to go somewhere physically, is when you have to go to the post office to pick up your physical Emirates ID. Yeah. You could, in theory, let it be delivered. But I found it quite tricky because you also need a local phone number, which you typically don't have unless you're a resident. Yeah. So I got really confused and I just put in the phone number of my agent, like at Shams, at the Sharjah Media City. And so he got all the notifications. He always had to send me, this is ready. He sometimes had to confirm some codes. So it's a bit of a wishy-washy process, but it is very efficient overall. Yeah.
No, that's true. I was very happy. They could, as you said, like open up a little bit about or publish a little bit about the transparency. What's like the road you need to take. What are the next steps? But as soon as you contact the customer service, they are very helpful. But it would be nice to avoid the step of having to contact the customer service quite a few times.
So if anyone from the free zones are listening, just make it a bit more transparent because you live in such a country that's extremely efficient. Yeah. And it would be very easy to just send you like a simple PDF document of or a video, do a little video and explain of like, okay, this is step by step what you have to do. Exactly. Because it's not going to vary much.
No, I don't think so.
Sets up a company. I don't think so. Exactly. It's like the same process all the time. I was just really confused, to be honest.
Yeah, just a little roadmap of, what the next steps are or what all of the steps are. And then you can always find yourself on the way and know what to do next. Yeah.
And now we're here. We're in the UAE. Yeah. We've founded every country tours.
True. Yeah.
And we're now living in Dubai.
It's awesome.
How is it with your work? Because you have to fly back for work all the time.
So I still work part-time in Germany. That's pretty fun. So I go back probably I'll go back like 2-3 times per month. I'll have to fly to Germany.
When are you next going back?
Tomorrow night. Yeah. So I was here for quite some time now, actually, like 10 days or so. I was here for 10 days. That was... It's nice. I always in the middle of the month I have a block of off days, so where I can stay here. So it's always going to be like about a week, 1.5 weeks. Then I'm going to be here in the middle of the month, and then depending on when I have to fly where, I can be here. So yeah, I'll today is Friday, so on Saturday I'm gonna go to Germany. On Monday I'll be back. I think so. Monday, Tuesday, maybe Tuesday. Tuesday I'll be back. Monday night I will fly back, so Tuesday I'll be here, and then on Thursday afternoon or so I'll fly back to Germany. Yeah, so that's how it works. Yeah, which sounds pretty bad, but because I work at an airline, we do get cheap flights for the waitlist seats. But flights at the moment are very, very empty, I would say. From what I've seen, there are always free seats, so I can get a cheap ticket. I'm very afraid of the winter months when the cruise ships are here, when it's high season. Yeah, that might get a little tricky with the commuting to Germany. Yeah, but we'll see.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
For now, we have our little trial period of seeing whether we like Dubai or not. But so far, what's your verdict?
Oh, I love it.
It's great. No?
You can like even the heat is not as bad as I thought. I know it gets even hotter. I was in Abu Dhabi in July of last year. That was bad, but honestly, it's exactly what I thought it would be. During the day, you're not outside anyway. Like you plan your day that you're inside, and then either in the early morning or in the evening you can go outside. For example.
You don't really feel it much
because
you don't. You have AC everywhere.
Exactly.
Everywhere you go, it's like 21 degrees basically.
Yeah. So it's just when you go outside on purpose. For example, we have a swimming pool in our building. So when we want to go swimming and the sun is out, we don't go. It's either early morning or after the sun sets. That's when we go outside on purpose. But gym is inside, of course. All the malls, everything you want to do is inside. So everything is AC. Yeah. I actually find 45 degrees in Dubai, I find it more bearable than 35 degrees in Germany. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because have
no
the AC everywhere.
Yeah. Germany is not prepared for the heat. Yeah. This place we're in the middle of the desert. Everyone knows that probably 10 out of 12 months, it's way too hot. Yeah. So even the metros, not the metro station, but the tram stations were like AC. They had like
also the metro stations.
Yeah, the metro station,
everything.
Of course. Yeah, no, everything. Like I haven't seen a bus station yet, to be honest. I don't know if the bus stations here. I know that bus stations in Abu Dhabi are AC.
When you have the bus stations, you have the waiting rooms which are AC'd.
Exactly.
So it depends a bit on the bus station, but you have like waiting rooms where you can sit inside and wait.
Yeah, I've only been on a bus in Abu Dhabi, not here. So I don't know how it works here. If every bus station has it.
I prefer the metro. It's so nice.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because it's so fun because Dubai only has one metro line, but it takes off all the important stops.
But it has two.
No, it has two. Sorry, it has two, but like one main that. I've taken the green one once.
I once went to Gold Souk to get Ethiopian food, one of my favorites.
on the green metro. Yeah.
We should go and have some Ethiopian food at some point.
Maybe tomorrow night when I leave to the airport.
Oh yeah, I would come along.
Yeah,
Habibi, let's do it.
Tomorrow's Ethiopian food.
Amazing. Tomorrow's Ethiopian food. Oh wow, I can't wait. That's amazing. Guys, if you have never tried Ethiopian food, you're missing something in your life. I swear. Anyway, I think that's it for today's episode.
If you have any more questions, please let us know. I know
let us know.
It was just our thoughts. So, we don't know what questions you might have. Maybe we forgot something very important. So just let us know. I think we're going to talk more about Dubai on the podcast because it's pretty big in our lives right now.
It's a huge thing. And if you have any questions, or if you, for example, want to set up your company here, just drop us a message and we'll give you some advice. We can also refer you to people, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. So
amazing.
That's
Thank
it
you guys
for
so much
today.
for watching. This was the Every Country Podcast. Every Country Podcast.
Yeah.
The Every Country Podcast episode number 3.
Número 3, sí.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. Hasta la próxima.
Hasta la próxima. Chao, chao.